Have you taken drugs before, whether that's recreational use or whether you had a dependence, but you're looking at joining the military? Well, you could still possibly join, and we're going to cover that in today's video. Welcome to Combat Ready HQ. If you could please like, share and subscribe to the channel, I would hugely appreciate it. And check out our free community Discord. Check us out on Instagram. And if you want to, you can support the channel by becoming a channel member. So drugs and drug testing within the military. Start off with if you've taken drugs in the past and you're looking at joining the military. If you have taken drugs and you're looking at joining, you can still join. Whether you just take it recreational drugs occasionally, all you've got to do is just stop taking them and then submit your application. The chances are when you do your medical at the assessment centre, they will ask you if you have ever taken drugs. Just be honest with them. There's no point lying, because if they find out you have, it could have severe consequences. It could possibly sort of stop your application there. So just be open and honest. As long as you stop taking them, you can then look to join. If you've had a dependence on them in the past, you've got to have up to 3 years proof that you've been clean and you no longer take them. Why is that? There is a no drug rule throughout the military. You cannot take them. You get randomly drug tested with compulsory drug tests throughout your career. So a CDT is what it's known as. What happens is you'll be on camp one day, you'll get called on parade, and they will go, no one leaves camp, everyone goes here. They will just say a room, a hall, the gym, whatever it is, and you'll have to go and do a piss test. You then get a stamp. What they do a lot of the times as well, they actually shut down the camp. So you cannot leave, especially the smaller camps. You cannot leave that camp without proving that you've got a stamp on your wrists. This is to ensure that no one is taking any drugs. As you would have seen in my previous video though, that I did last week, it does happen and people do get caught. And normally, 99% of the time, you are gone. You do the piss tests and then it takes around 2 weeks for the results to come back. If you get called into the office, you most probably know what it's about. And normally you get booted out within around 2 weeks. I have seen people get booted out the same day. The results have come back that day. They've been put in front of the commanding officer and they've actually been gone out of camp with all their kit that day. But normally it takes around a week or two to do all the administration and do the discharge. On the odd occasion, people have stayed. I reckon it's due to manning issues, but it's very rare and it's not worth the risk. They don't want you taking them. Obviously, it's not safe. It can obviously lower your sort of reaction times, your skills, and it ain't going to be good when you're out on operations or exercises or handling weapons and live ammunition, okay? You cannot take them. What can you take? Prescription drugs only. I'll get into supplements in a minute. You can take prescription drugs. You can't turn up to a CDT and say, I took paracetamol from someone else. They won't like it. I'm not going to say you get booted out, but they like you to only take prescribed drugs that you've taken yourself, or if you've brought some sort of paracetamol or ibuprofen from the pharmacy or sort of like Asda or something. When it comes to the CDT, make sure you declare everything you've taken. Obviously, hopefully you haven't taken something you shouldn't have, class A, class B, class C. But if you have taken some form of prescription drugs, or you've taken sort of paracetamol or ibuprofen or hay fever tablets or hay fever medication, whatever it is, when you go to the CDT, they will ask you what you've taken in the last 28 days, I believe it is. Just tell them what you've taken. I've taken paracetamol for this, I've taken ibuprofen for this, I've taken hay fever medication, or whatever it is. They will write it down. The reason for that is if that drug has something in it that comes up on a CDT, when that comes up as a positive, they can then look back at your form and they will go, okay, this is what they've taken. They've taken this because they've been prescribed this by the doctor. You don't want to not declare it, and then some sort of positive comes up and then you get called into commander's office, you've then got to explain yourself, or you've got to go through some sort of investigation. So just always declare it, be honest, and if you have taken something that you shouldn't have, then be very careful, because there is a chance you are going to be booted out. Just don't bother, it's not worth it. Supplements then. Yes, you can take supplements within the military. Off-the-shelf supplements are fine. Just be careful with some of them though, because there have been cases in the past, especially when it comes to sort of testosterone boosters or stuff you buy online. It could come up. Once again, when you do the CDT, they will ask you if you've taken anything. Just declare any supplements you've taken as well. I used to declare them just so they were aware. The only reason things that you really used to take anyway: whey protein, sorted multivitamins, maybe ZMAs, and creatine. They used to say, and were very big on, only take supplements from Informed Sports. You don't have to take anything. You don't have to take only supplements from Informed Sports. Informed Sports is a company out there that basically tests batches of supplements for companies, but they charge a massive fee. A lot of companies now do their own sort of testing, or they go to factories that they know are clean. So you can still take them. Things such as what I use, and I know other serving soldiers use, is Combat Fuel. They don't have the Informed Sports logo, but they are 100% military safe. They've got loads of athletes and tactical athletes that take their supplements and have never had a positive sort of test. So as long as you're taking your standard sort of supplements, multivitamins, ZMAs, creatine, clear whey protein, casein protein, vitamin D's, etc., you are going to be totally fine. Just be very careful when it comes to things like testosterone boosters, or you find some sort of dodgy website like fat burners, testosterone boosters, and they go, you're going to build loads of muscles, you're going to drop loads of fat. Be wary of them, but your standard sort of off-the-shelf supplements, you are totally fine. Just declare everything. Anything Class A, Class B, Class C, zero tolerance, you cannot take while serving, okay? So just stay away of it, stay away from it. But if you have taken it before you joined, it's not going to stop you from joining. So don't worry about that. Just be totally honest when you go through the medical and the assessment centre. And then once again, when you go through the CDT, be totally honest what you've taken, prescription drugs, paracetamol, ibuprofen, and any supplements you sort of take, because like I said, if anything pops up on a positive, they can then just go back to your paperwork and go, yeah, it's totally fine, this is why it's popped up, they've declared it and they've been prescribed it, or it's just standard sort of supplements. But if you do take something that you're not meant to take and you get a positive, then you will be booted. Like I said, the CDTs, these compulsory drug tests are completely random. You do not know when they're going to happen. They could happen once a year, twice a year. I've seen some regiments do them 8, 9, 10 times a year. I've seen regiments do it in Afghan. The guys, well, just before they flew to Afghan, RAF Bryce Norton, before they got on the plane, the regiment got drug tested. Guys flew out to Afghan. 2 weeks later, got flown back because they had a positive, booted out the army. So they can happen absolutely everywhere and anywhere. Don't think because I'm going on this course, I'm going on this exercise, I'm going on this op, I'll quickly take something before I go because they won't test me. They will. It also happens in training, okay? So Soldier Academy, Phase 2 training, you will also get random drug testers. Random drug tests. So be careful. It's not worth the risk. Don't do it. Hopefully this is cleared up what you cannot take, and whether you can still join the military if you have ever taken them in the past, okay? Just once again, integrity, be honest throughout, and you should be totally fine. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can become a channel member. We are reconstructing our website as well. We've got new products coming, new coffee, so keep an eye out for them.